everyone, welcome to another amazing episode of Hottakes with S.O.G. My name is Official Baby Red and I'm here with S.O.G. looking good.
I just want me to show yourself. Do your thing. Continue to show yourself. I
want to give a big shout out to our subscribers. Thank you so much for sticking with us up until this point in time. You guys are the real MVPs. And please, guys, if you're coming across this video, do not forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Trust me, this is where you want to be, because this is where you hear the truth about literally anything. Okay, and as you know, we always have amazing guests, that help us break and shake and dissect and dilute literally everything that we talk about. Today we have Purple Diamond in the building. Purple Diamond is a rice farmer and an all-round entertainer. How you doing?
I'm fine.
You look good.
Thank you.
Like your name is given. Like I'm seeing where the purple is coming from.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So how do you balance being a rice farmer and being an entertainer?
I've always been an entertainer for like the longest time. Rice farming is something I just do because you have to make money and entertainment.
Nigerian.
Yes. You can't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm doing.
If you don't feed your passion, hunger will kill your passion.
Yes. So entertainment is what I've been. I went from dancing to a lot of other things, to event hosting.
What kind of dancing do you do?
Okay. When I was younger, I used to do normal Afrobeat. Everyone did. Then I went into ballet when I got in shape, and then I went into other things. But then I stopped.
Did you ever do exotic dancing?
Right now, I'm something sort of a nudist. So exotic dancing is never did it in clubs, but I do it in my room and I post it online.
Okay.
So.
Wow.
You do personal exotic dancing for your eyes only.
Not my eyes
That's
only,
my eyes
for
only,
social
but
media
she
only.
still does it.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, guys, we also have King Kamsi in the building. King Kamsi is an OAP, an event compere, and an all-round entertainer. How are you doing?
Thank you guys for having me. I'm feeling good.
Okay.
Amazing.
Oh,
Finally on Tawnkraya TV. I'm actually
finally!
a
Oh!
fan. I see some of your videos online.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Thank you. See, we're doing well.
No, they show yourself.
But we're doing
You
well.
don't even introduce and well. You know, say your voice. If you do King Kamsi, just do them now.
But we're doing well.
I beg, introduce topic.
So you to appreciate yourself, pat yourself at the back and say, yes, I'm doing
Now
well.
that thing they make people lazy. Once you tell yourself now say they do well, you can't lazy. Now what thing they do you? But you know one then, you be Gen Z herself. Introduce topic.
Guys, today's topic is quite controversial, right? Should sex orientation or education be taught in Nigerian early childhood institutions? Like in your kids' primary schools, should they be taught, educated on,
On sex.
at that young
Are you
age?
gonna start with me?
Anybody's free to go.
Okay. This whatever I say here is going to contradict what I've been saying in all my podcasts.
Okay.
But then with recent activities,
Happenings.
yes, I've seen the downside of this particular topic. Because last time I had to talk about something like this, I said it's good because if we knew about this in our earlier stage, we wouldn't get to hear it from people that can paint it in a way that it's going to mislead us.
Yeah.
Do you get?
Yeah.
But right now, with the whole UK thing, and I'm seeing a lot of downsides in it, and I think I should be against it at this point.
Okay.
Because as a kid, we're growing, you talk about anything you put in us is what we manipulate in our mind, and it builds who we are, in future. So now, as a kid, you don't know your right from your wrong. Now the teacher that you're putting in school, you don't know the twisted things he has gone through in his life that would make him want to impact such knowledge on your kids. If you're teaching your kids at home about sex or anything sexual, it's different. But who you're sending them to school to teach, you don't know what they have in mind. You don't know the kind of sexual orientation they have. Some people are gay, which is not legal in our country.
Yeah.
And whoever is gay is defending his or her own rights. And if he's in school, he's teaching that same thing to your kids. Do you get?
Yeah.
Diversity. We think, how would I put it? All of us, we don't think alike. So when we impact knowledge, we impact what we have upstairs. Like I said, I've been talking about this topic all the while in other podcasts. But then, because this is what I think, I'm pansexual. So what I talk about is what benefits me. Imagine me as a teacher.
And I don't think he knows what that is. What's the meaning of pansexual?
Okay.
I think I have an idea, but let her, because when I hear pansexual, the pan African and pan this one comes to mind. So it's more or less like a lot of things in one.
Yes.
So I'm trying to
He answered the question. It's like an extreme version of bisexual. It's someone that is gender blind.
Mm.
If you're pansexual, you're gender blind. I don't know if you're a guy or a girl or bisexual or whatever you are. I'm open to all sexual possibilities.
Okay.
Imagine me as your class, your baby's teacher in class. I'm teaching them to be open to everything sexual. Do you get?
Yeah.
And my students can come to me and say, I'm into girls. Being that is wrong in this country, as a teacher, I'm meant to tell them it's not good,
not
right?
good, yeah.
But being that I'm trying to protect my own rights, and I'll feel like, okay, I can relate to the students because I feel like, okay, we are somewhat oppressed in this country. And I'll be like, okay, like it's good that you're gay, and if you're into girls, you should explore it. That's what I'm teaching the kid. Then you go home, their parents are against it, and it becomes an issue. It twists their minds because they are still kids. Do you get?
Yeah.
Whatever. How do I put this? Whatever controversy that comes up with this, they don't know it. They don't know how to handle it. It could get them. The tension can make them. What word should I use for this?
traumatized.
Thank you very much. It could traumatize them because they don't know how to differentiate the right from the wrong. Me, I know that I can be this, and then I know it's wrong in this country, so I have to be this way to be this way. But them as kids, they don't know that. And then if they are open to it from when they are kids and they grow up, it's going to be hard for them to turn away from it. You know that.
Yeah.
So I don't, like I said, if I don't support it, I used to support it, but then I feel like you have to get to a certain age. I grew up in a very sheltered home. Like my mom is a teacher and a pastor, so very sheltered.
Okay.
I went to dormitory schools. I knew nothing to that. So I had the opportunity to grow up as a kid and then explore what I want. I wasn't gay till I entered university. It's that bad. And I went to an all-girls secondary school. I could be gay in secondary school, but I wasn't because of the home I came from.
Yeah.
I was trained that you have to be a certain way in life. So now when I grow up, I decide, okay, I might be this. I want to try this. I want to try that. I have the opportunity, the experience, the everything to choose what I want. But as kids, they don't know that. Once you teach them, they explore it. You tell them it's good to be, if their teacher is gay, you tell them it's good to be gay. Teacher impacts in them that it's good to be gay. They go home, they become gay. And they don't even know their sexuality. Because you cannot tell me a teenager is 100% sure of their sexuality. Because me, I'm not even sure of my sexuality. Like I was all grown up. So they need to lead their life first. Let them live, let them be kids, let them grow and choose what they want to be.
Okay. Kamsi.
Wow. Yeah, I think
I have a question for you, but because again, it has one talk.
I think I'm here to learn more than even speak.
Yeah.
Okay, but from what Diamond has said, like she said quite a lot, but still, I am opportune to be an educationist. I studied education in school, actually majoring my master's right now in education as well, educational technology. So I'm privy to a lot of things concerning education. And my answer to that question is a question. I would say it's a two-edged question, because when I got the question, there's sexual orientation and there's sexual education. Yes, you orient them about sex. You don't educate them about sex. Let children be children. We've always, even from being little kids, you have this girl you really play with, everybody calls her your wife, which orients you that man has to be with
A woman.
A woman, yes.
but not necessarily educating them and letting them know how they eventually have to make babies.
Yeah.
How to put a penis into a vagina. I don't know if I can do that, but can I be raw?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're all adults. I believe this is an 18 plus podcast. So yes, allow them to be children. Orient them. Keep them in check. Yes, this has to be this and that has to be that, but not necessarily going into the details of it. Personally, we all did physical and health education in school.
Yeah.
There's a topic called sex education. In physical and health education is a topic. It's broader. It's supposed to be a subject or even a course of its own. But they made it a topic in physical and health education. I remember we had a teacher then, God rest her soul, who taught us sex education. And she went all out. But this was when we were in, not much later, I think that was in JSS3, at the latter stage of junior school. And she went all out and said a lot of things, made it clear to us. And I think at that stage, minds were already matured enough to start accepting, though she couldn't give us all details, but minds were already matured enough to take in some of the information that she was given.
Yeah.
But when we speak about early childhood institutions, we're speaking about primary schools.
They don't even know their left from their right.
Some of them can't even wear their shoes properly. Like they wear the right on the left and left on the right. And you want to start educating them about sex. Sex is very complex. Even as adults, we don't know it all.
Yeah.
Yes, even as adults, we don't know it all. And I find it very appalling that even adults, personally, I read a lot about sex. Yes, I like reading about sex and stuff because I feel like everybody should be educated. There are certain things you will know and you will never know till you try to make research on your own about sex and all of that. Just take, for example, the fact that there's a complaint and every young guy now, even guys below 30, are taking enhancers because they believe they want to last a particular number of hours or minutes in bed. But when you get to read about sex, if you're knowledgeable about sex, you should know that you don't even need enhancers as a young guy. There are particular kind of exercises you take. They're called the Kegel exercise. You take the exercise, you eat particular type of food, and keep you in check, and you could last minutes. I don't know about hours. I don't do hours, but minutes.
Who wants to do
hours? Like,
I don't know. Some people claim they do. I don't know.
That thing is not true, please.
But no girl will be able to.
Take hours.
No,
can't even reach 30 minutes.
It's not food now.
Can't even reach 30 minutes.
It's a complaint from different people.
Why?
Some people, anybody that wants to sell anything these days, all you have to do is just, place it on your advertorial, say bye-bye to 2 minutes in bed, and everybody's buying it.
True.
There are people selling Zobo that everybody drinks. And
they're not put Cristiano Ronaldo on it.
And you're now attaching say bye-bye to 2 minutes in bed to Zobo.
With your
it has extra libido, whatever.
Yeah. So I don't want to move away from the topic, but based on it, I'll keep saying let children be children. Sexual orientation and sexual education are two very different things. Just like she mentioned, in the UK right now, they're teaching 9-year-olds how to masturbate, how to have anal sex, and all of that.
Anal sex to a 9-year-old. Who does that?
9-year-old.
It's your age.
You're taking away the innocence of childhood.
And then they're blaming Christianity and religion. That is religion that is being against it. They are forgetting we are not even talking about religion and we're talking about human beings. We're talking about kids that have time to grow. Let them grow.
The thing there is here. When you were saying something, then you said things about the teacher having gone through certain life things. If you start checking it that way, if you begin to check it like that, that means definitely won't take your kids to school. Because most of these teachers, yes, they had their own experiences or whatever thing they don't go through. They faced that, they are teachers now. Your kids are open to a lot of teachers at least from nursery, primary to even secondary school. It's worse in secondary. If some primary school even practice the same style of secondary school, you have different teachers or different subjects, and you still have one form teacher. Then there are some primary schools that it's just one teacher teaches everything. Do you understand? So if you want to judge it that way, that the teacher don't go through stuff, whether you like it or not.
I think you're guessing that right. A teacher teaching you computer.
I'm driving somewhere. Whether you like it or not, that child will still get to learn from that teacher. Like simple something. Do you understand? Like when we were in primary school, we had this teacher, right from the one who said the guy not normal. He's something else. He knows how to. Maybe we're talking about this cup. From this cup, you can start talking something about sex from this cup. It has nothing to do with this cup, but he was smart enough. He was evil enough to like to twist that topic. Like he has, you know, that people that have this affinity.
Would you call him evil?
Let me not say he's evil, but he has this.
Exactly what I said. You can correct them. This is a life principle.
So if you ask me, I actually think that you should let it be taught, because if they don't teach it in these schools, if they don't teach it in these schools, you want to protect your kids from not knowing one way or the other.
We're not protecting.
It's just letting them grow.
We're letting them grow, as you said. Whether I like it or not,
you're putting words into my words.
Okay.
You need to understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
Do you know why in universities that you go to universities, people study education, people study mathematics different, people study psychology different.
Okay.
You need to specialize in something on its own. You can't be everything at once. My maths teacher in primary 5 and 6, my mom's school, he, like you said, most of them don't need the normal. But he went to school, he knows when to teach and what to teach. He knows that this is his specialty. And when it comes to mathematics, he teaches what he's meant to teach. But now, in primary schools, as pertaining Nigeria, teachers wanted to teach all subjects, right? Now, most of them don't even go through those subjects. They don't specialize in anything particular. And adding sex is bringing their home frustrations into the picture. Me as a person, I'm here, I'm talking. You don't know what I went through before I came here. You don't know the trauma I'm going through in my life. You don't know the problems I have. But this is me being professional. I'm sitting here and I'm not bringing my problems to it. You don't know if I have sexual problems, right? Now, if I'm a teacher, I come to class, I teach professionally what I'm meant to teach. Imagine me frustrated with my husband at home if I'm married, in bed, sexually. I tell myself I want to be gay. I can come to class every day and teach mathematics, teach English is different. But when it comes to something that has an emotional attachment to me, that has problems I see on a daily basis, I would want to teach them something that has to do with my emotions.
True.
So that I will feel like I'm making them not go through what I'm going through. But forgetting we are two different people. And because I'm able to differentiate, it doesn't mean every other person is able to differentiate it. Do you know that? Now, teaching, you're saying you don't know their personal lives and everything. Letting them teach about sex is them bringing their personal life into the picture. Now, their trauma, anything they have gone through in their life is mixed with the education. He, as an educationist, he's trained professionally to educate people about a particular topic or a particular line of education, like our scheme of work in school. That is what yes. So now, whatever there is no scheme of work in sex. Yes, sexologists don't know it all. I should know that because I'm one. I learn every day about sex. That's why I choose to be pansexual. Growing up, when I was in SS3, when I was in university, in my early diploma days, I felt I was a lesbian. Why? Because then I was going through relationship stuff. I told myself I can't deal with guys. You see? So whoever I was teaching, if I was a teacher and I was teaching somebody that time, that is what I'll be teaching anybody then. Because we have stages in life and we have things. That's why people have midlife crisis. We have stages in life and this is things we need to learn on our own, experiences we need to have on our own. For us to conclude on this is what I want, this is what I want to, because I've seen everything. Well, if I'm able to teach somebody about it, I'm teaching them my own experience, not about their own experience. You can't teach somebody about experience that they will still see. So whatever you're doing is shaping them into what they are not. I went to an all-girls school, geometry school, that you know that 90% of people in school are gay, they are lesbians. But I didn't know about lesbianism until I entered university. I could believe that. Because I've been trained in a certain way. You cannot influence me to do what I don't want to do. I'm on Facebook posting things about myself, posting nudes about myself on social media. And people practically drag me every day of my life. But because I've been trained that you cannot influence me into doing what I don't want to do. That's how you cannot influence me to doing what I don't want to do. If I'm doing something, you can't say it's not good. Me, I don't say I'm saying good. So you don't get what you won't tell me. I'm grown enough to make that decision. Now, me as a teacher, you bring somebody that is as messed up as me in class. Or my they come class one day wear bomb shorts come. Yes. And my student have seen, and I'll tell my student that this is life. You do what you want. You don't know what they want. Tomorrow they wear pants and go out. You don't know the difference yet. So it's not about what you're saying about they will not learn or they will learn, or they will not send that we will not send our students, our kids to school because of they will learn other things. No. What they are teaching in school is what they learned in school. It has a scheme of work. And you come back, it is the responsibility of a parent to come back. When they come back, you go through those things. My mom, she'll go through everything from one to the last thing you learned in school. To your whole day, you run it down for her. So if there's another thing that happened, and you don't know about it as a parent, it's your fault. So now, sex education. Imagine my kid coming back and telling me that her teacher says she's pansexual. Kids, say one thing, it registers in their head.
Yeah. Because
they are in that stage where they don't have any problem. The only problem they have is everything you say from your mouth, everything you do that they are saying.
Just perceive it.
Sing. They don't process it. When you hear things, you process it in your head, but they don't. They manifest it. They don't know. They don't have time to process. So you now, as a teacher, me, I will tell my kids I'm pansexual, because when you're discussing sex, they will ask you, so which one are you? And you after them, okay, you don't do men, you cannot get married, or you want to be this, you want to. And my own is so complicated that you cannot even say you do women, you want to get married to a woman. You're open to everything. The girl will go home, or the guy will go home and tell their parent that they're open to a lot of things. You as a parent, how do you want to untwist that twist?
Yeah. If it was before, let's say a few years back, if you had said this to me, I would have been like, oh no, they shouldn't teach them this. Children, maybe say they were abused as kids and they couldn't talk about it. Even today, many of them never speak. I'm coming. I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere with it. Yeah. You know something, yeah. Whether you like it or not, I said this earlier. Whether you like it or not, your kids will learn things that are not part of the school curriculum from their teachers. Whether you like it or not, they will learn it. That is just
from my teacher.
Why I say that is, I have a friend. I have a friend. They started calling her attraction from her primary school. What happened? Boys used to come and sit around her. So one teacher just entered and say, you every time they attract boys, attraction. These kids didn't know what it meant. They started calling her attraction. It was till she got to secondary school before she understood what that teacher meant. Do you understand? So whether you like it or not, your kids will pick up things from these teachers. I'm coming. I'm still going somewhere. No, I'm not. I'm just trying to let you know how I see this. I'm still going somewhere. Now, we'll come down to the primary schools. We do know that they teach a lot of things in primary school, but they just like brush the top. They don't go into details. So when I say let's have sex education, nobody's saying you're going to sit those kids down and start telling them sex, the whole things about being pansexual or bisexual or asexual. You can limit it.
If you're going to teach sex education,
because of the level of
teach it in entirety.
Because of their level of understanding, you can't teach them everything verbatim. You have to teach them certain
parts of it. That is where it was, because once they know the introduction and they don't know any other thing, they go and explore on their own.
They can't go and explore. They can't go and explore.
Humans are very inseparable with knowledge. Especially children.
You all this small children drama, mommy, daddy. They don't know what they do.
Even without sexual education, we still do mommy and daddy.
Yes, imagine when you have educated them on other things they want to do.
But do you know that kids, even that time was still small, they had kids that were having sex?
Yes.
But I believe if they had the sexual education, they for don't know this guy Tiba no drama. I've heard from different girls about they are follow small girl who be say probably one of her senior her cousins or the older ones were touching her. She learnt it. She can't see her follow small girl. Now begin to touch her. Now if that girl was educated,
do you know why it's called abuse? Do you know why it's called abuse? Because they have no knowledge of it. When they have knowledge of it, now they have the zeal to want to even try. It's no longer abuse. They will do it.
Let's establish the fact that everything has merits and demerits. Everything has an advantage and disadvantage. Sexual education in its entirety has its own advantages. Like I said,
Yeah.
I recently, let's say 1 year ago, that's when I started reading sex and health blogs so much, because I was wondering why the increase of drugs in the market for enhancers. Why can't everybody just have sex and be happy?
You
having
really have
sex?
a problem with
So I started reading all this. Yes, I have a problem with them, a very big
Yeah.
problem, because I find
experience.
every guy will be sincere. Not personal experience, or be very not personal experience, but having a lot of guys around you. When you talk discuss with guys, this girl they come over, I won't go take this thing, make her fit. And you're wondering, why can't you just, this thing is meant to be pleasure. It's not supposed to be work.
No, you know, sometimes there are two reasons. There are two reasons why guys do that. Some they do it to prove themselves, and then some they do them out of wickedness.
That is
No.
Whether to be wicked or whatever.
Out of wickedness.
Why must you? Because now they now make it look like. I mean, imagine like telling this to a younger person now. His orientation is before you make a lady shake her legs, you have to go and take different kind of things. And this was the reason. I was still hearing somewhere. That's the reason why I started reading health blogs, and I started making research, and I started learning some things on my own. Now this is me educating myself about sex. Education and orientation, I'll keep saying, are two different things.
That's why I said you didn't get what he said.
When you get into school, there's something called an orientation program that they do for 1 week, prompting you and teaching you about, it's still teaching, but it is not education. They are prompting you and teaching you about, definitely, I didn't learn sexual education, I didn't learn the basics of sexual education anyway. I learned it from my parents. The first time I knew that a guy can get a girl pregnant was when my mom told me. There was this girl I was following everywhere. I can't even tell whether my mind was bad with the girl or good, but I was just, we're just always everywhere together. And then I learned that if you start doing bad thing,
That's always.
I don't know the process, but I know that if I do bad thing, I already knew what bad thing was, because we watch movies, we see things, and children have this very open, and that's when I knew I could get a girl pregnant. And I probably taught 2 or 3 friends that never knew that they could get girls pregnant. I didn't tell them the process, but already I had an orientation that just the way some parents will tell girls, if a guy sees your pants, you'll get pregnant. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
It might be a lie. You might see it as a lie, but it's an orientation. Just the same way maybe you're getting to school and they tell you, if you do malpractice, if you are caught malpractice, you go home for 3 years. Sometimes, in many cases, that's not exactly what happens.
Yeah.
It's not exactly what happens, but it's just to scare you away from doing malpractice. That's what orientation is all about. Giving them a tip of the knowledge. And as they advance in life, they're expected to make research. Not parents
They can imagine then. They can pick what they were taught then and not match their life experience. But if you start educating them about when they are young, it becomes a problem.
It becomes a problem.
The difference
Telling them you have to climb
letting
up.
them know and educating them. Knowing that this thing exists is different. That's what he's saying. You can let them know about this. But then educating them about it is a problem. Imagine having a subject about sex. What will you be teaching in class? Come and sit on top of our letters.
I just said the masturbation, doggy, and now they don't have to start doing practical.
A certain way. They will go and do
They have to do just like biology practical.
To do practicals now.
No, obviously, if you're taking a course,
you will go home and you want to explore it more. And then you forget that as a kid now, they don't
climb on each other. They have to start showing them videos, pictures, creating pictures in their head, taking away their innocence. And before you know
yes, that's particular
it advances into pedophilia. There's a statistics right now of rising pedophilia around the world, especially in UK. Every day, men are being arrested for having intercourse with young people, people of 12, 13, 14. It's rising in the UK right now. And if you check it, this is consent. Though they say young people can't give consent, or people below 18 can't give consent. But if you look at the messages between them, this is the young girl consenting to whatever they have. But because according to the law, they cannot give consent, the man ends up being arrested. And that's what you're doing. You start educating them from 6, 7, 8, 9 I want them to wait all the way till 18 before they have the sex.
Who has that kind of patience? Who has that kind of patience? And then they'll get addicted to. We're not talking about the addiction.
You know why this is what I thought they make you say who has that kind of patience? Plenty people had sex under the staircase in their houses. So why would I make it?
Does it make it right?
I feel like if for say they know, many people no go do them. That is just if they know when they go do. You said something earlier that I wanted to just like chip in on that. You said something about the high rate of no, not pedophilia, enhancers in the market right now. The truth is that whether most people don't go great talk street, but this erectile dysfunction, I might say they call that thing. It did plenty for this outside. This Africa, we have a lot of it.
If people read
that is
that's ED. It's not ED.
Yes,
erectile dysfunction.
It's plenty here, but most people don't know that
you don't even have erectile dysfunction.
Most people feel
what is there reading? I found out that it is not even erectile. There are exercises you have to do.
Something like just weak body you get.
You're not exercising enough, or what you're eating, your diet.
You to be able to do something.
Yes.
Why is that see this as special?
and that's really, if you look right now in I think in Sweden, sex has been registered as a sport.
Yeah, it's a competition.
The reason is because it is an exercise.
It is.
And there's a pre-exercise. Just like before you start weightlifting, you have to do a warm-up. There's something called a Kegel exercise. I would love anybody who's watching this to go read about Kegel exercise.
I've read about it.
When you read about Kegel, you understand that if you practice your Kegel exercise every day, 3 times a day, 4 times a day, check yourself the next time in bed.
So
I told the guy about exercises he would do to increase to like motivate his sex life, and he has a problem with it because he feels it's a problem.
you need when you tell person the person got the flex, see this and see the person no powerful enough. Well, guys, thank you so much. Like I actually learned a lot, but I still stand by what I thought. But wait to the cocoa be say when I don't hear them, they say sex and exercise. Don't deny that young man in your DM sex. Be a better exercise. Exercise is good for the body. And this is S.O.G signing out with King Kamsi,
Thank you so much.
Purple Diamond, and Baby Red. See you guys next time. Bye.